So hello everybody. Kindly take your seat. And hello everybody, and welcome to the 4th edition of the VR-Plauscherl. Great to have the factory300 as our location sponsor, and to have the guys from PTC and Wikitude as our speakers and as our dinner sponsors. Thanks. I think Industry 4.0 is a very important topic. So we are now more focused on the AR part in this VR-Plauscherl edition, which is, I think, a very nice topic. Also complementary to VR. And I will start with some organizatorical things. So we plan to have the next VR-Plauscherl in January, and there will be also some AR topics eventually, and we are still looking for some participants that want to join us with their projects and want to hold a talk. And I would also like to take the opportunity to announce that our colleagues from Vienna, VR Vienna, are making now regular events for VR founders and VR companies to present their projects in different locations in Vienna. So kindly go to their meetup page to get more information. It's they are called VR Vienna, I think I will now give the mic to my colleague Jakob.
Yeah, very shortly, thanks again for live stream. So we'll have recording again of this session. So thanks to our friends from RealWorks for this. And I'll hand over to you, Christian, for a short intro on Startup 300 and the next coming days.
Thank you very much. My name is Christian Forsterleitner. I'm the new CEO at factory300. I would like to welcome you in our venue. Thanks for the reality hack with when actually PowerPoint and AirPlay didn't match. We took a picture, and now I got the opportunity to tell you something about the next upcoming events at the factory. So this actual no presentation but a picture. At factory300, we are trying to bring people together. We're trying to bring startups and corporates together. We try to bring ideas together. We want to be the lighthouse in Upper Austria, or even for the whole area, where startups and interesting people with interesting ideas are meeting. And for this reason, we are glad having you here. Thank you very much for having the VR-Plauscherl at the factory300. As you can see, we are not only having the VR-Plauscherl this week, but we're kind of busy. Perhaps you saw the people getting ready for the hackathon of the Pioneers Industry Hackathon. They're actually working on their products. We hoped that some of them would join us, but I guess they are so keen on focusing on their tasks that they perhaps will join us later, or you have the possibility to talk with them when we can get some food afterwards. But this is happening for the next 3 days. Today it started today, and it's going on until Wednesday evening, when we have the jury making the final decision. You came to your own part, so I don't have to introduce that. But tomorrow we will have the Blockchain Meetup. It already happened 2 times, and there were between 100 and 200 people here at the Factory 300 talking about blockchain and the opportunities you have with blockchain and blockchain technologies. And on Wednesday, we will have the Austrian Startups Stammtisch with a podium discussion where people from corporates but also from startups will discuss how careers and how development in new companies from a personnel view take place. And on Thursday we have a very interesting workshop, which I will not pronounce what the last word in the title stands for. You can imagine it for yourself. It's all about data, and we have a guy from Runtastic talking about KPIs and talking about how you use data to make your company more efficient. So you see, a lot of things are happening at the Factory 300. These are just 4 of the upcoming events. We're going to have about 4 to 5 events every week from now on, and we would be happy to join you if you would join us as a member at the Factory 300. Thanks for coming, and have a nice discussion.
Yeah, and thank you, Christian, for the introduction of Factory 300, and I have now the pleasure to announce the next Christian from PTC, who is kindly joining us for the first talk today and will tell us something about physical and digital convergence.
Thank you, Christoph. Christian, Christoph, everybody is a Chris. Now we have to switch the presentation. Now it works. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Christian Paltinger. I'm employee at PTC. PTC is a Param technology company. We are a big vendor in the case of Industry 4.0. We develop CAD systems, PLM systems, also AR systems, platforms for AR, and also IoT platforms. And about this stuff, I will tell you something news as our project in I think 30 minutes. And I will start with a short video from our president, Jim Happelman.
It's a new technology that fundamentally changes the way we experience the things in the Internet of Things.
These new tools will allow you to bridge the digital and physical worlds. They'll allow you to leverage the richness of 3D and the insight from IoT and present it all in the most compelling way imaginable through the power of augmented reality.
Studio is aimed at making AR for the enterprise simple and scalable. We're on a mission to democratize AR and make its use mainstream.
This is a purpose-built tool for enterprise content creators just like you that want to create augmented reality experiences and don't want to write any code.
AR and VR adds a whole new dimension to the way that humans interact with products. That helps you to operate the product, service the product, appreciate the product. So this combo of AR and VR together with IoT is a real game changer.
What this means is that every single one of you, regardless of the tools that you use in design and engineering, is going to be able to create really compelling 3D experiences using augmented reality in just a matter of minutes. This is Studio.
A lot of big words, a lot of revolution and game changers and innovation, and this is the future of PTC. PTC want to connect the digital and the physical world, and we call them digital-physical convergence. The vision and the story about is based on a more than 30-year-old history. Then we started in the 1985 with developing an CAD system. It was called Pro Engineer. Maybe you know this. And in the last 30 years, we go to the PLM vendor, and afterwards we go to an IoT vendor, and now we are an AR, IoT, CAD, and PLM vendor. And this is our loop for the closed loop lifecycle management, and we call it the digital physical convergence. Why do we do this? Because we want to build smart connected products, we want to build smart connected operations, factories, cities, services, and we want to connect everything what we happened in the real life. We come from the physical side because we develop machines, machineries, products for more than 30 years. And for example, Fronius is one of our biggest customers in Austria. And for 10, 15 years, I was consultant at the reseller who bring the product to Fronius. And this was a very interesting project because that was the first step to bring the physical world to the digital one. We also talked about mechatronic Bandbreite, as we called it at this point, and we talk about how we can help with digital informations the physical world and the physical employees at Fronius. And now, more than 30 years later, we have the closed loop, and we talk about the digital and the physical world. 1-2 words for PTC. PTC is a worldwide company. It's based in the US. We have more than 6,000 employees worldwide. I am the sales partner development manager for Central Europe. That means I'm responsible for the startups and the partners in the area of Germany, Austria and Switzerland. They want to resell or integrate our product, and there's also a point, if you are interested to sell our product, we can talk about later on. We have subsidiaries in every region, all over the world, and yes, there's some facts about our company. We talk once again about the loop of the digital and physical world, and we talk about the 3D design, system engineering, augmented reality, of course. And from the other side, when we come from the physical world, we talk about connectivity, connected devices, connected products. And this is our loop. It's based on our mission, on our core products of Creo. This is the product after Pro Engineer, Windchill, and management system, enterprise management system, integrity for application lifecycle management, and SLM for service lifecycle management. On the platform side, we have ThingWorx, Vuvoria, and Capware. Maybe Vuvoria, you know him, our colleagues in Vienna, where we have our office in Europe, gave me great information to come to here. And yes, we speak about this loop and all these products. Why we do this? Why does PTC go the new way from CAD to IoT? Because things are changing. When we look in the history, we said that a normal product, sometimes a tractor maybe, will have some software included and will become a smart connected product. On the next side, we have connection to other equipment. We have an farm equipment system, which we have developed, for example, for John Deere, also for Claas. And now we talk about a system of a system. That means that farm equipment system is connecting with a water data system, seed optimization systems, and is connecting with the base system. And that means everything is changing. We are a connecting world, and every developer of machines or other products have to think about how we can connect the things and bring a better service, a better value to their customers. And yes, of course, PTC helps to bring the story to the customers. And we see a lot of examples in the presentation afterwards. And we had a lot of interesting stories with him. But now we can switch to, or we come to the AR topic. And at first I want to talk about the high-tech generals from Microsoft, from Apple, and from Google. And they all support, or we support, these big companies for developing the new era of AR. We have a project, of course, with the HoloLens, with Microsoft. We also have a project with ARKit from Apple. And of course, we also talk about AR Core with Google. And these guys talk with us about the AR stuff. How does it work? So a short overview of our future vision from Vuvoria. They connect with Android, ARKit, and mixed reality from Microsoft. And we have our platform, Vuvoria Fusion, to connect on every side. We have a lot of different object recognition possibilities, and we see it in the presentation. I have a short demo with, and I'm happy that it works. There are some examples how we visualize or how we offer the AR content to our products. Why we do this? Because we want to visualize, we want to instruct, and we want to interact with the digital information. And these are the main reasons why we built our AR experiences. Because we come from the physical side, I told you before, and if you want to see something which is only in a digital CAD model maybe, then you have to go in a special way to become it on the screen of an iPad maybe. It's only the visualization. When you instruct something, when you want to teach something about the product and you want to show him how it works, then you have to guide him, you have to train him. And it's also the possibility to make it a real-time transfer and knowledge transfer. And on the last side, to interact, to give some information to the product, to bring different functionalities on. Then there's also the manipulation side on the AR interface. We have 3 top value use cases. We had a lot, but first, before we talk about the 3 top values, as you know, Vuvoria is in the AR area for many years. And we talked with our customers and we asked them, what is your preferred usage? What are the preferred use cases? And they give us the information that the main reasons are the use cases in service, manufacturing, and sales and marketing. And these are the special cases. And when we talk about the next step, how can an AR experience be built, then we have solved the problem with a tool. It's called ThinkWorks Studio. Because ThinkWorks Studio connects the manufacturing to include the CAD models, bring sexy pictures to sales and marketing, and also bring interactions for the service operations team. And this is our product. This is ThinkWorks Studio. It's one of the most popular tools from the IoT innovation research company. They give us an award in the year 2017 and say we are a very innovative company and we have built a very good tool for this. How does it work? It works on 2 steps. So we build experiences on the ThinkWorks Studio. We publish it with ThinkMarks, and then we can show it in ThinkWorks View. How does it work? In only 6 steps. I have it the next slide in a short video, but I want to choose you first with some pictures. You go in the cloud-based platform, ThinkWorks Studio, you import some CAD models. You open it, you give some interactions on it, you set a thing mark. It's thing mark tracked, of course. You build some animations on, you publish it, and you bring it to the real world, as you can scan it as an QR code. It works in this easy way, and while I'm talking here now, you can download ThingWorx View if you want. And when I finish the presentation, I will invite you to make the last demonstration in the group, in the team. As if you want, you can download it, ThingWorx View for Android and iOS. And I can show you how or what does this pictures mean. I will explain you afterwards. But first, if you are interested in, please download it. Now I will show you a short use case from one of our customers. And we have a project to maintain something. And if you see, this is a thing mark, our new variation of QR code. And as you see, you have an CRD model based in the background, and now you can describe something. In this case, we want to describe how you can rebuild it. And as you can see, we can animate it. How does it work? Because we have an CRD history, as I told you before, and we can interact with the CRD models. We can make a lot of steps between, and we can animate, rotate, whatever, and we give them in different colors or whatever you want to do with the CRD model, and then we overlay them to the physical thing. As I told you on the first slide, we talked about the IoT interaction to the physical world. And this is my next topic, because we don't talk only about AR experiences, or we don't talk about only of ThingWorx Studio. We talk about ThingWorx as an IoT platform. We think, PTC think, that the connection of everything works with IoT, and it's based on CRD models, it's based on the physical world, it's based on ERP, data informations, and we have to connect these data. And we think with IoT, with ThingWorx, we have a very good IoT platform to connect this. It's a platform, of course. That means we can, or you, startup and system integrator, can develop special use cases on a web-based interface. You can, with a lot of different projects, we can talk about the IoT functionality afterwards for a separate discussion. But in this moment, I want to show you how the ThingWorx Studio connects to IoT. Because the reason is this picture. It's a little bit complicated, I know, but I'll give you a short overview. The first thought was we source the data from the CRD side, also from the architecture side. On the architecture side, we have a big picture. It's called BIM, Building Information Modeling. We also included this kind of stuff. We also included this CRD models. We have on the other side information that comes from the cloud, from Azure, etc., whatever. We also connect information from the ERP side. We include it in our ThingWorx platform. At first, we source them. Then we give it the right context. That means we're mapping this information, that we know what is the most important one. Then we synthesize it, we analyze it, we simulate it. As you see, we have here a very good machine learning tool included. We call it ThingWorx Analytics. And it's a very professional analytic tool, and it's also very easy to learn. And that's important for us and for our management, because we want to make IoT and also AR as simply as it's possible. The next step is simulate, then we orchestrate it, and then, of course, we engage it. And this is why we have AR and VR in our portfolio, because we think there are so many informations all over the world, and it's very complicated to understand this. And this is our solution, how we can help customers, also companies, people all over the world to understand this very big information cloud or fluid. Yeah. Yes, this is our digital physical orchestration slide, and this is why we have also IoT, we have CAD, we also have AR on the Engage side. And this is the introduction, the overview why I can show you this video now. Because now we have not only the CAD models included, we have the IoT data included. That means, what is the battery status? What is the full status? And this is the real-time information as we can see it in our AR experience. And we think this is a very good and great story because we can connect both sides. The real world from the battery status, the digital world from the CAD models, and we combine it. Also the next pushy video. What we want to show here is to interact with CAD data. That means we can push the data with all the CAD history, and this is very good and very new for our product. Okay, then we talk once again about the Engage phase, and I want to show you some detailed information about our whole platform, ThinkWorks. We have the right side with the ThinkWorks Studio, our AR platform, also our analytic platform. I told you before, our machine learning engine. And this is our whole future platform. The next feature I want to talk about is CAD model-based recognition in AR. Some information, yes, you can see it, but I want to show you in video as you can understand it in a better way. One of our biggest customer in Upper Austria, maybe you know what this motor bicycle is, give us some CAD models, and here you can see how the object recognition or the CAD model recognition works. And so we can understand which assembly it is, and we can make a maintenance or service experience on it. And we understand the data, we understand the history, and we understand the background information. Another example is one of the real life, as you see, it's from Audi, and it's an overlay of the interior, and yes, you can see it. And the third one, also a recognition example where you can change the color, you can interact with the model, and you have a lot of different informations there. Where is the value about AR experiences from our side with our products? We go through the value chain and we talk about design, manufacturing, sell and market, service, train and operate. And we think there are a lot of different reasons why we make AR experiences with a lot of different examples. But now I want to talk about three special points, and I want to show you how PTC see the mapping or the go through the market scenario with ER for our customers. And as you can see here, we had a lot of different possibilities to make AR for our customers. And we see a lot of different hardware, of course. We have tablets, this is the easiest way, or smartphone to show experiences, but we also have possibilities, of course, with HoloLens, I told you before. And there are a lot of different use cases why we can, or how we can make the right experience for the right operation, for the right need of their customer. And so we had an different way, and you see the red one. It's one of the most difficult way, but there you can see we make the platform, we instruct you with something, we can make it in real time, we can make it on wearables, and we also can make it on 3D tracking. And that means these are the biggest picture as we can show it in AR. But I give you only on video and they can see it. Different functionalities of our AR story, 3D tracking, 3D model tracking, real-time streaming, and so on. And these are three typical customer stories from our biggest customer, of course, Boeing, Fujitsu, and CAD. You can see it an operations scenario where you rebuild, think this is an engine, to understand how it works. This is a short summary of our functionalities for the operation side. For virtual product demonstration, it's also important, as you can see, as a seller guy maybe, as you can show the product in the right way. And for service and maintenance, you have a short demo for HoloLens with the value pipe. Okay. I have only 2 slides, and then we go to the last demonstration. And on this point, we want to talk about how we think that it's possible to come to the future with AR. And the first step is we have to understand how AR and the different possibilities from the data usage is possible. And there are some points they will give to tip to our customers. And these 6 points are important because our CEO, our president, Jim Heppelmann, write an article with a very interesting guy. His name is Michael Porter. Maybe you know him. Michael Porter is one of the visionary strategy, innovation manager, professor on the Harvard Business School. And they wrote 3 articles now. The first one was written in the year 2014, the second one in October 2015. And now we have the third one. And 1 hour before I come in this presentation, we have the short presentation for internal guys, where we can see the first the first screenshots of the article. And this is, I think, a very good story, because this content I show you now, is the content of the article of Harvard Business Review. And I think it's very interesting stuff. And so you are the first in Austria or in Central Europe who know this. Yes, we had the presentation, of course, 1 hour ago. And how does it work? I show you the last short video, as you can see how easy it works or how fast it works. It's cloud-based. We included CAD models. We make some animations on. You can interact with some things. These are two action bullets to make an interaction on the experience afterwards. Yes, this was the work. And on the last side, I want to show you this in real, as we build now. We go. And the Harvard Business Review article was combined with the Harvard Business Review app. And now I start this app, as you can see. This is the first step to visualize something. First. Okay. Then I show you now you see our demo. Do you remember this part? When we talk about visualization, we talk about instruction. And we talk about impact. I can change the velocity. Okay, this is our Harvard Business Review app. You can download it if you want. And you can start, or you can look at the sprint marks. Yes, this is PTC from my side. From our side, if you have any questions, please ask.
Hi. Yeah, so you showed some impressive models on a mobile device. One of our biggest problems is always like how to get an industrial model so cleaned up that it runs on real-time 3D hardware. And there were some impressive models, but how do you generate optimized models for that? And was the performance on a Beamer indicative of the performance you'd have on a tablet?
How we get this model in the form as you can use it in AR. Was this the question? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes, it depends on which CAD model you design the model, of course. And when you are native PTC, of course, then you have the easiest way. But we also have a lot of integrated connecting points, for example, to Autodesk, to SolidWorks, to all the big players in this area. From the machine side, from the manufacturing side. There's also the other side, as we talked before, the architecture side. They also have a lot of need, or they want to see something in AR and VR. And they had another different cut kernel to our one. And this is a little bit difficult, but we can solve it with some technical hacks. It's possible. You have to make it with PFVS. It's a native format for our solution. Is this the answer to your question?
So you have some magical format named PVS.
Systems. For example, SolidWorks, I told you before, you have the possibility to export it in this format. And so you can import it on the experience side, on the ThinkWorks Studio side. From which CAD system you come from? What is the source? I can tell you the details if you want.
Well, the only software that I think that works is something like 3D Studio Max or Maya or something like that, because to get things running really well in 60 FPS, which is like a minimum for AR for like stereo vision mounted VR or AR, I think, you need like game dev techniques. You need different levels of detail. You need baked normal maps. You need maybe some baked ambient occlusion, geometry, like where you like make it a lot simpler. And then maybe you can hope to get it running on a tablet. And then in most cases, it's like better to just buy a really beefy system and make it brute force.
Understand, and that's the... Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I would invite you to take this offline because we already have overdrawn quite a bit. So we're taking a short break now. You can have some food. So I would really invite you to kind of discuss this over some beer maybe and a couple of snacks. And we'll start again in half an hour with the next talk. Or 20 minutes. Okay, let's try to do 20 minutes. Thanks.
Weil das ist ja eigentlich genau das, was ich eigentlich versucht wollte zu erklären. Das löst viele dieser Probleme, die du angesprochen hast, weil es eben eine Plattform ist. Wir brauchen das nicht. Wir gehen nicht über 3D, sondern wir gehen...
Okay, let's start for part 2. I would like to introduce Peter Höflehner from Wikitude. Thanks for the second talk, and you're going to be talking about AR for industry. So take it away.
Thanks. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here today in the evening. I hope there's still some attention I can get. My name is Peter Höflehner. I work as product manager for our SDK at Wikitude. And I will talk about AR in industry. If you have any questions, please interrupt me anytime. Wikitude at a glance. Everyone claims to be the number one something. We claim to be the number one AR platform, which is true for independent AR platform. We are serving 100,000 developers out there, and they created 20,000 apps using our technology with approximately 1 billion installs overall applications. So, but that's a rough guess. It might be even more, much more, as we don't get the install base from the app stores. Some brands and customers using our technology are so top of the brands here: SAP, Porsche, Last Minute Group, TUI. So Walmart is quite interesting. MediaMarkt used our technology. Victoria's Secret. Who are we? We are 30 people, mainly based in Salzburg. So our headquarters is in Salzburg. People from 9 different nations work for Wikitude. James is the only one here which is not in Salzburg. He is based in San Diego. He's our business development guy in the US. So we are Austrian company and based in Salzburg. Augmented reality has quite a long history, and so has Wikitude. We introduced the Wikitude world browser back in 2008. Some of you might remember the Google G1, the first phone from Google, the first Android phone. And for that phone, Google had a developer competition, and our founder, Philipp Reuss-Schneeweiss, won this competition with the AR browser, Wikitude World Browser. That was back in 2008. Then we had another peak here with the Google Glass, and a big peak here with Pokémon Go, where AR got some attention. And in the past month with the introduction of ARKit and AR Core, there's another peak here. So over time, it's quite stable and those peaks. But overall, the intention AR gets is increasing, and we see that also from someone getting money from that intention. So AR, it's the time for AR now. Here you can see the hype cycle from Gartner. So in the last years, AR always was something here, and now we are here. But that's nothing bad, because after that, it's getting into the production phase. And in some points, we see that already, that companies we have out there like Copa, Fronius are entering the AR scene and thinking about how they could use it. And that's more interesting for us than being here and just some media write about us. Here we earn money, and here we get attention. So it's even more important for us to earn money and not press articles. This is a slide where some fancy analysts say how big the AR market will become in the next years. So we are here now, and it's increasing steadily, and we are really looking forward to that. Wikitude provides mainly 3 fields where we can help you. The first is Geo AR, which is, we are the only ones who, of the bigger SDKs, who provide a Geo SDK. The use case here is seeing something in the field, where is a hotel, where are some sites, which mountain is that? That's the typical use cases for geo. That's not so relevant for industry. 2D image recognition, we had that for several years. That's solved. It's quite stable. We can even detect multiple targets at the same time. Walmart is using that for their employees who do the shelving of the Walmart stores. That the shelving is done correctly. That not this box is placed here, but this box should be here. Walmart has a lot of stores in the US, and they have the problem that they have really, really many employees, and not every employee is able to do the shelving correctly, and therefore they have this guiding system which helps them doing the shelving correct, because that's not just placing something at any place, but it should be at the right place. And we are supporting that. Most of you might know this magazine augmentation, playing a video where a photo is and stuff like this. So mixing printed stuff with digital stuff. Then we have 3D markerless AR. That's basically what ARKit and ARCore is all about. We introduced our markerless solution back in January and got some attention for that. The bigger furniture application use our technology in the meantime, and we had some, nice demos, floating turtles somewhere around. I will have a slide with ARKit and ARCore later, which compares a little bit what we are doing and what ARKit and ARCore is doing. And the third solution, the third tracker we have, or the fourth tracker we have, is object recognition. So we are also able to detect objects and track them. So we can show some animations how you built that fire truck, or instructions for such a machine. So that's the general the trackers we have, or the solutions we have. And now I want to show some use cases which customers from us built with our technology. The first one is a visualization use case. So solar panels in the field. This would enable the farmer or whoever to see how this would look like in the field. I won't restart the device. Wasn't that playing? Yeah, I will continue. But this the tracker which is used here is our markerless SLAM. So you are in the field and you would place those solar panels on the field, and someone else could see how this would look like if the solar panels are built there. You could do that with a house, with something else. So that's the visualization use case. I hope this one is playing. I think I mean, this is the guidance use case. You have here high voltage box, and you get introductions how you have to maintain it. So as you can see, this is something Lenovo is creating with our technology. We'll try also this again. You could also do this with furniture in your room or whatever, you name it. Cars in your garage. The next is remote support. Whatever. So this Scope AR built with our technology. Scope AR is a big solution provider for remote maintenance. Yeah. So there is one worker in the field who has to fix something. The problem here is this. A lot of companies don't get enough qualified employees to maintain stuff on the field, but they have some qualified people in a headquarter or somewhere else, and they could support their not so capable guys out there. And last but not least, there is Iot Data Visualization. That's the wireframe for a big construction or for IoT plant in Austria. We did a proof of concept there, and their aim is to visualize the data of the sensors they have here. So there is a guy operating this plant, and he gets the sensor values. We did it with glasses and also on a tablet. Enterprise AR is mostly a combination of several things. So we have the iceberg. Most important is that you have the hardware as enablers. If there is no data, you can't visualize it. So you have to have the sensors and stuff like that. Those sensors create content and data. You have to have the infrastructure to collect the data and bring it to some systems. Then you have the identity and personalization, who is maintaining this machine. And then you have to have a robust AR technology. This is where we come into the field. And then you do some rendering, UI elements, and fancy, nice-looking stuff for the for the user. So basically, we are talking about several stuff what we have also seen before, and this here is our part. We have the tracking, and we also have the rendering. Yeah, and you have to integrate it. That should be clear. I mentioned markerless instant tracking, AR-Kit and AR-Core. Everyone is talking about that at the moment. If we are talking about AR-Kit, around 1/3 of the devices are able to run AR-Kit at the moment. And that's a good thing because Apple can control their hardware. It's even worse for AR-Core. 1.4% of the devices out there. So we took the data from our most downloaded app and had a look which devices are using this app to get a feeling of the actual devices out there, sold devices, in use devices. And for Apple, we are able to tackle 92%, 93% of the Apple devices, and at least 35% of the devices out there for Android with our SLAM technology, which is, I have to say, it's not that fancy as AR-Kit and AR-Core. But it's working, and it's working for a lot more devices out there than AR-Kit and AR-Core do. And we are also integrating AR-Kit and AR-Core into our SDK. And you don't have to deal with which tracking is behind that. It's kind of a HD capable or not HD capable thing. If it's capable, then it's using AR-Kit or AR-Core. If not, it's using our own SLAM technology. So we abstract the SDKs. That's coming at dev preview, something like end of the year, so in a month, around that. Last sentence. AR will be universal as soon as we don't call it augmented reality anymore. So that's what we aim for. You shouldn't be able to differentiate if this is rendered or if this is reality. So that's what we are looking for and what we are working on. I'm happy about any questions.
So you mentioned, I think, quite some times that you're looking at pretty reasonable rendering and also specifically not being able to determine between the augmented between the augmentations basically and the real content. So if you look at augmented reality, there are topics like visual coherence, which is actually a pretty big topic. So talking about occlusions, talking about lighting, shadows. So normally not too many companies look at these aspects. Are you looking at them, and how are you doing that actually?
We are definitely looking at it. We do occlusion, so we do that. ARKit and ARCore are doing light estimation, and that's something we will do in the future. And then there is also light direction, which you would need for shadows. We'll look at that as well, but not in the nearer future we will be able to tackle that.
And considering occlusion, how do you target that?
You have to have an occlusion model. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
I have a question regarding the devices. A few years ago, the Google glasses were very hyped, and especially for augmented reality. You told us that you have done both, an iPad solution or a pet solution and Google glasses. So what was the benefit, or what is better working on Google Glass? What is better on your iPad? And what is your point of view about the future of the devices?
Currently, it's working better on tablets because they have the better hardware, so better processors, better GPU and more RAM. But the glasses also get better, so the ODG and Epson devices, for example, are quite good, and the newer models of them, they work quite well. Which concerns me more is if you're really comfortable wearing such a device the whole day, because if I'm testing our SDK with, for example, ODG or Epson, after half an hour it's getting hot, and it's not nice to have something hot on your head. So that's the situation at the moment. But they're doing a good job, especially ODG and Epson, and also interesting devices coming out in the next month, but mainly for industry. I can't assume that anyone is walking around with those glasses on a daily use.
Thank you for a great presentation. I have a question. Is user experience design a big part in your company or not?
Yeah, as we don't implement the solutions, it's not that a big topic for us, because we are a SDK company. We have our SDK, our product, which is used by developers out there, and they have to tackle those user interface questions. So we can't control it, what they are doing, but we try to support them in giving them the tools to do so. For example, voice control is a topic, because speaking of classes, there are some classes who are controlled by voice, and also the SDK has to support that.
And do you have, I think also augmented reality have a lot to do with, it should be a little bit haptic or so. Do you have here like variables or sensor data, or you see the information, but maybe you want to interact with something. So I think also in augmented reality there is this haptic sense missing. Are you experimenting with these things?
Same here, because our customers are implementing the stuff. The SDK provides the callbacks and stuff like that you would need for haptic feedback or something like that. But as we don't implement the solutions, we can't do it. So we support it as best as we can, but we can't do the work of our customers and the developers who are implementing our solution.
Okay, thank you.
One related question maybe. Are you actively fostering knowledge exchange between your customers? Because if you have 100,000 developers using your kit, I think there is a lot of great potential for exchanging those experiences. Which could be part of your business model, by the way.
What?
Which could be part of your business model eventually.
Yeah, we are trying to do that. But to be honest, I spent some effort for questionnaires in last year, especially last year, and that wasn't so successful either. So, and we have a support forum which is working quite well. But it would be great to have more interaction on that as well. So users help other users would be a nice thing, which is not working so well at the moment. At the moment, we are doing the support, which is okay. It's our business, but it would also help if other users help other users. Yeah.
Maybe you could try to foster something like stack exchange for your niche for AR or your toolkit.
Yeah.
I think there is some limit when they say, yeah, there are enough users interested in the topic to get this going. This might be a solution.
We are definitely interested in everything which could help us here. At the moment, it's working well, so our forum is good enough, but it could always be better. And yeah, Stack Overflow, I think it's too niche at the moment for Stack Overflows. There are some questions on Stack Overflow. We are following it.
But no, there is something similar to Stack Overflow, but just for specific topics. For example, for game dev is one special Stack Overflow. So they kind of have this product to...
So kind of a channel.
Yeah, basically it's for certain topics. There is like an own Stack Overflow website. So it's basically just an subdomain.Stack Overflow.
Yeah. Question, would it be more convenient for you as developer to go to Stack Overflow than going to our very own support forum?
I think it's important to have their own forum anyways, but I think Stack Overflow kind of solved in a way the problem to find the best answer to your question.
Definitely, yeah.
So I wouldn't try to do it differently than them if you're not better than them in their space. And I think, at least for me as a developer, Stack Overflow is a godsend because it makes developing way easier than it was before.
Yeah, definitely, I agree on that.
What's the low-hanging fruit in AR apps? Like, what is the thing that everybody should do, but nobody does yet?
Depends on your use case. A lot of people are using our Geo SDK for a store finder, which would be a quick win. It's not so hard to implement, but not so sure if the use case is there, if it helps users finding something. Low-hanging fruit, other than that, it totally depends on the use case. For
furniture use cases, it would be implementing instant tracking to have your furniture in your room. I think that would be a use case. IKEA does that, and does that quite well, and for a while. That's a low-hanging fruit on that field. Yeah, and magazines bringing their videos into printed material, because on the website they usually have videos, but not in the newspaper. That's for newspapers or content creators, the low-hanging fruit.
You use your tablet to watch a video in the newspaper.
Something like that, yeah.
Another thing, like you talked for Walmart, and I was quite impressed because Walmart is a giant store with lots and lots of items and lots of store shelves. Can you tell me how extensive this shelf AR app works? Is it like for a specific shelf as a test case, or is it for the whole store?
I think it's at the moment it's a proof of concept for them. I'm not sure if they already rolled it out. It started, I think, beginning of the year or so. They started implementing it. Maybe someone has seen the news about they have a robot driving around in the stores, which does something similar. But I couldn't find out if this robot is using our technology. That was in the news, I think, 2 weeks ago. A Walmart robot driving around in the stores and controlling if everything is correct in the shelves. So it's quite the same use case. So I was wondering if they are using our technology for that. But we didn't get an answer for that now.
So with your technology, you could just map the whole store and then switch it around and let the device check if something is like wrong. Some picture is the wrong picture in a shelf. You do like simultaneously location and mapping?
Not location. In this, you could combine it with location, yes. But in their use case, they are just comparing image targets. So you have 10 boxes, and you are comparing if the box next to the other box should be next to the other box or somewhere else. So that's what they are doing. There is no location in there, as far as I know, at the moment. But you could combine it with location. But I don't think that they do that at the moment.
Regards to the location, this is as far as I know, 2 years ago it was still a kind of unsolved problem to do location tracking inside buildings, as detailed location tracking.
There are solutions like Indoors, which is a company in Vienna who does indoor location, and you could combine that with our SDK, as it's only another location provider, and our SDK can take any location, and yeah.
Do they have a solution which is based on GPS, or is it based on
Wi-Fi?
Okay, so Wi-Fi tracking.
Yeah. Or you could also use beacons for that, or something like that.
Okay, yeah, this was what I know.
Yeah.
Always state of the art, more or less, at the moment.
Maybe I can add something to that. I don't know if this is Indoors, but there's a startup in Vienna which are using mapped 3D point cloud data to do feature detection on it, and to get the location, the actual location of the device out of the tracked 2D picture of the camera, basically. So you're not dependent on any Wi-Fi or on any beacons. Basically, you have like inside-out tracking on stereos.
we could use any location data which comes from the system. It could be, usually it's GPS, but it could also be a indoor location solution SDK, which is based on beacons, whatever, you name it, as long as it is reporting geolocation to our SDK, it would work.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? So thanks a lot, Peter. Was, I think, also a very nice second talk and presentation, and very glad to have you here. And thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for the people at home or on the road or wherever you are for joining us on the streaming. And hope to see you next time in January, and enjoy the dinner and the beer. I hope they have something out there yet still. So have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.